Welcome, everybody, to another episode from Inside Treasures. My name is Phoebus, and I love to challenge myself and those around me for the purpose of growth. I'm here to help you to heal, to change, and to grow. This episode is about stillness and expression. Expression and stillness. Which one is better? Which one should win? Let's find out. Everything in this world works in cycles. We got the day, the night, the different seasons, the year going after time as the time, the earth revolving around itself and around the sun. The cycles. Things go in cycles. Things are in duality and things swing. Okay? So, what does that have to do with you? What does that have to do with your ability to express yourself in this world? The thing that I have found through working a lot about finding my stillness and finding the peace within and finding a space for me to stand so I can be all right and I can heal, I can change, and I can grow, has been that there was too much going on for me on the outside, on the side of expression of other people into my life and my personal expression into the world, because there was just like expressing, or repressing, which is a form of expression, by the way. Repression is an expression, just an internalized way of expressing. So it's impressing, repressing, expressing. The pressing of something. Something of what? Of me into the world, or of the world, the outside, into the me. So a lot of times we see that we have this expression. Women can be a little more expressive at times, men can be a bit less, or in different ways, but we all express, and there's too much going on. People love to chat, talk, but they're not often listening. Both of these, again, expression, impression, but also at the same time, there's something different. There's a place and a space within you that not much has to happen, externally or internally. In that place, in that space, we find stillness. Having found stillness, we can notice that even when things are noisy outside, we can maintain that course within us. Even when our mind shouts at us, we can be at peace. Even when there's so much noise outside, we can be centered. Even there's so much going on and so much demand from people outside of us and circumstances, we can be at peace. Is this always working? Is it always perfect? No, but that such place exists. And I feel certain that most people have experienced this at some point in their life. Think now into a moment where you were able to experience peace and stillness despite the circumstances outside of you or inside of you. That is a place that we don't necessarily express. It's a place where we be. In that place where we are and we be in and through the world, we don't necessarily have to make much noise. We can stay there. That doesn't mean let's all abandon everything. Let's all move into a place where there's peace and stillness and we can just sit around and do nothing and everything will fall on our laps. I'm against that idea. My invitation for you is that idea of stillness and peace as a possibility that I'm sure you have found in your life here and there, but as a way of moving through the world in which this can be a practice and it can be more habitual. There's the idea of meditation, and there's the idea of taking time, and there's the idea of removing oneself from the world, or from yourself, or from your habits, or from the things that you really love and you're passionate about, or from your work, or from your family. So there is that stillness and there's like disconnection of moving things apart in order to allow the dust to settle. That place is a magical place, but that place is not a place to stay there forever. If you've been following what I've said, I've talked about the expression and the lack of expression. From doing to being, from being into doing. It's the collapse of the two worlds, it's the unification of expression and stillness. We think that if we are to be so still, and if we are to go so away and go so much within, that we be so far away and so disconnected from the world, that will be kind of like impossible to re-engage with the world, that the world won't be able to reach us. That can happen. Bypassing, look at me, I have peace and stillness and I move through the world, while the rest of the people are so noisy inside their own heads. That's a very interesting place to stand. But that creates distance, that creates disconnect. When I speak about finding stillness, it is about our ability to connect not only with ourselves, the divine, the spiritual, whatever it is that you adhere to. I personally stand on that, but it's also about ability to connect with the world, to connect with the people around us. So that stillness is not so it becomes isolated in a silo away from the world. That can create a step that is useful for us to be able to progress and to engage and to grow through the practice, and like all these things that can be useful. Going like on a retreat, these things can be useful. But what becomes important for me is now my ability to build your ability to come from that place of stillness and expression as you enter the world, to influence the world, to bring that stillness from within out in a way that you were expressing in certain ways, you internalized, you became present, and now you start to express, but with more intention, with more power, with more love that is contagious in such a way that it actually moves the people around you and it moves the world. It shifts as you move through the world. Because the way that you are expressing is far more potent, it's far more powerful, more intentional, more clear. The blade is just a lot sharper. And it has an ability and the capacity to cut through a lot of the noise. And as you're moving through the world, you're influencing the world. And as you're influencing the world starts to influence you. Sometimes I feel I get too serious about the things that I talk about, but that is because of the reason that I'm passionate about the things that I'm talking about. I often notice what I said. We're too much in expression, we're lacking the depth and the power to express many times. Finding stillness is a way to call yourself home, to come from your center, but not just so you stay there, just so you re-engage into the world and you're far more effective and potent into the way that you move for yourself, the way that you express, and in the way that it touches other people and how other people begin to touch you. There's a different depth, there's a different layer. So if you're interested into developing a greater capacity to enter your stillness, to be more effective into the world that you create, into how you put yourself out there and how you express yourself, look at the link below. Finding Stillness is the course I've built that's specifically designed into the way of which you can call yourself home and into the way of which you can start expressing yourself through the world with power, with trust, with love and care. Thank you, my friend, for tuning in to another episode from Inside Treasures. My name is Phoebus. If you found this useful, any of this content useful, and you can think of somebody else in your life that, you know what, this could really help this person, send them a link. Help me spread the word. Help me include more people into the message that I try to give into the world. Thank you, my friend, for tuning in to another episode. Until next time, let peace guide your life, let love guide your heart, and reason guide your thoughts.